All right, welcome back, everybody, here at Tuscola for the opening game of our season here. This is DouglasCountyDigest.com. My name is Luke Johnson. I'm with Mr. Mark Maxey here. And we've just been through the first half of this ball game. Mark, how do you think it's played out so far?
Well, I think Tuscola has some momentum on their side. They got the momentum back that was taken away from them with 2 minutes left in the half. Sullivan made a very nice score and tied it up 8, but with 2 minutes left, Tuscola managed to go down the field and put 8 points up on the board themselves to get the score to 16-8. And I think that's some momentum that they got to keep riding. And I'm sure Sullivan's going to be looking to open it up a little bit during the second half. You know, they are a spread offense, and they've been running the ball a lot. But, you know, the couple times that they did throw the ball down the field, you know, they had a play there at the end of the first half where they had a guy in the corner of the end zone, and Tuscola made a good defensive play on the ball. So, you know, it's a momentum game for sure. You know, we both played it, and you know it. Momentum is a big thing. Well, it's big in any sport, really.
Yeah.
But in football, you know, you want to try to ride that momentum the best you can. Tuscola will get the football this first in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sure, you know, Coach Reinhardt would like to do nothing but better than to march that ball down the field, open up the second half, and put another score on the board.
Opening score would do wonders for your team either way, Sullivan or Tuscola, but that's probably the main goal for both teams. I think we have yet to see the best football from either one of these teams. I think, you know, first game of the season, like we've been saying, they're getting all these jitters out, the pre-games, the rust. You know, you've been playing against, you know, your own team for the last, 2 months.
Right.
And now you're getting the chance to go out and play against other people. It's exciting.
You know, another thing I think that's worthy of noting is that you haven't seen any players going down with cramps.
Yeah.
You know, and so obviously the coaches, the coaching staffs, and everybody that's involved with making sure the kids are hydrated and in shape for this kind of heat, and this, because I'm sitting up here, it's still got to be 80 degrees. I haven't checked my smartphone here at the start of the second half. I need to, but I bet you it's still close to 88 degrees, and that's what it was at the start of this game. And it is so humid out, you know, and these kids seem to be handling it pretty good. No, you know, you don't see nobody going down with cramps or anything. So, and we're right here by the Sullivan sideline, and I don't see anybody up chucking or nothing over here on the sideline. So, you know, from that standpoint, both teams look pretty healthy. Actually, just as I say that, I see a kid down, one of their players with his all stripped down with a cold towel over his head down here. But you know, for the most part of it, I think both teams. I don't think either team at this point should be hanging. You know, Tuscola's definitely not going to be hanging their head leading the game, of course, but Sullivan's coach has definitely got to tell these guys, hey man, we're still in the game. You know, we got a whole half to play. Let's just keep our heads up and keep plugging away. You know?
There's no reason to get down. 16-8 is a very manageable, reasonable score, especially with, like you said, the spread offense that Sullivan throws. They had a good 30-yard pass down the middle of the field to score on their possession, which, I mean, if you can highlight that, there's a good chance that you can find that missing spot in Tuscola's secondary again. No problems.
Yep, and I'm sure Coach, Coach Brown for Sullivan, I'm sure he's going to be looking for that hole too, you know.
And their defense played really well, only giving up 16 points and a half. It's very manageable, and it should give the defense something to ride on. It should help your offense build a little bit underneath themselves to come out and play to even up the score.
Well, Tuscola received this kickoff in this cool 85-degree weather.
Cool.
Dropped 3 degrees since game time, folks.
And that was with the sun out here. The sun's not even, I mean, it's dark.
Yeah.
And here we go, opening kickoff here. Sullivan kicking to Tuscola. Again, it's one of those little high, short kicks. But it was end over end, and it was better than his earlier field. And he's tackled around the, oh goodness, the 40-yard line, 35-yard line, 35-yard line.
Austin Martin playing on that middle line of the kickoff team. fielded that kick and was kind of tentatively looking for a place to run, and managed to probably pick up, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 yards from where he fielded the kickoff, and Sullivan swarmed to him and brought him down. So here we go. Let's see what the Warriors got.
Let's see what they have here. They got 2 wide receivers here to our side of the field, one out to the left, man in motion. Number 15, Austin Martin. And a run up the middle.
Quick handoff to Cole Evans up the middle, and he might have got maybe a yard and a half. And number 51 for the Sullivan Redskins, Levi Nadler, was in on that stop.
A good dodge in the backfield. There, tucks it and runs. Stays up, still going.
Very
good effort.
nice run.
Good effort by Nick Bates. About a 15, 16-yard gain there.
You know, Nick had 2 defenders converging on him, and rather than just running out of bounds or trying to go low, he went right through those guys. And, you know, it shows you how tough he is. You know, for a sophomore quarterback, the Warriors have got him a good one. You know, this kid's going to be around for a while.
Just think in a couple years when he's been through all these experiences, he's going to be a really good quarterback.
And you know as well as I do, man, kids grow quite a bit from the time they're freshmen and sophomores to their juniors and seniors.
A little screen pass out to the side for number 15, Austin Martin, who gains a few yards there. And again, a no huddle for Tuscola. They like to run their plays in quick succession here. It's a no stop, keeps the defense from catching their breath, making it tougher on them to recuperate in the short spell that they have where nothing happens. And a shovel pass to the inside is stuffed. And somebody loses a helmet again. That's the 3rd or 4th helmet that's popped off tonight.
Number 25 is right there, Walker Byers. A 6', 182-pound senior for the Sullivan Redskins, was one of 3 guys, but he was the main guy that put his face mask right on the numbers of Cole Evans and stopped him dead in his tracks, and his helmet popped off.
A good hit, good clean hit, stopped him right up. 3rd and about 8 here for Tuscola on their opening drive in the second half. And it's pass is going to be out of bounds, overthrown. He overthrows Josh Knight as he takes a hit there in the backfield. So it'll be 4th and about 8. And
that one settled on him a little bit.
A good stand there to open off for Sullivan.
Zach actually ran a pretty good route. I was watching him run the route right here to our near side, and he was open. He had a couple steps on the defender and had probably 3 or 4 step cushion before he ran out of bounds, but the pass just kind of sailed on Nick Bates a little bit there. So looks like Tuscola's got Sullivan calls a timeout, but Tuscola had Austin Martin back in punt formation. So
I think Sullivan's coach isn't very happy. Some miscommunication out there, getting the right guys on the field. He was hopping up and down trying to get that timeout called.
And I'm sure he's reminding them, don't go for the hard count.
That would be my first guess.
Because, you know, a 5-yard penalty right now makes it a fourth and a long one from what, the 38-yard line. Tuscola would be then, you know, that much closer. I'm sure they would at that point go for it.
And like you said before, Tuscola is known for their hard counts. They've already got them, 3 times tonight, I think?
You know,
they jumped off sides.
Yeah, like I was saying, though, you know, you would get down here to within a couple yards of your 4th down, and you would think that they'd go for it. But, boy, what a time to put a nice punt back here and pin these guys back.
Pin them deep.
27, Jake Eaton back for the Sullivan Redskins, the lone punt returner back here.
A decent punt here is going to carry him back to the 5-yard line. He takes it low, and a decent return gets them out to about the 13.
He did one heck of a job fielding that ball off the ground. Number 55, Nick Henderson, was in on that tackle. His dad, Dave Henderson, played some football on this field as well. Another guy like Steve Bates got a son carrying on the black and gold tradition out here. So Nick Henderson gets his first tackle of the season that we saw. I was just talking to his dad at halftime. I said, "Hey, has Nick gotten the game yet?" He says, "Yeah, he's playing a little bit of offensive guard." And he goes, and he's on special teams. And there he goes. He gets his first tackle of the year.
And Sullivan takes over now at their 13-yard line, and we're going to look at their offense here. A handoff up the middle.
Oh, nice stick.
Excellent tackle.
Austin Benich.
Stops him for half a yard.
Well, that's how you wrap up and tackle.
That was a beautiful tackle. Textbook.
Yeah.
And, you know, watching these last few series for Sullivan on offense, it just doesn't look like their guys are firing off the line with the same pop that they did when they had that score on that offensive series. It looks like some of their linemen are a little slow to get off the ball, and their receivers just aren't cutting on their routes a little.
Molson, Hagerman, and Griffin Sullivan are the receivers split out.
And there's another handoff, and Eaton will be stopped again for no gain.
By Austin Benich. And 52 came in. Clayton Turner came in a little late there. Not late enough for a flag, but Benich had him down, and Turner came in and made sure the guy knew he was tackled down.
Stay down, stay down. So it will be 3rd and 10 here for Sullivan to try and restart this opening drive here for them in the second half, as Tuscola's defense has made a pretty good stand here.
Trips right to the far side. Single receiver over here to the near side.
Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right. Frericks with the deep pass down the field is picked off.
Tristan Williams.
Tristan Williams.
Very good defense. Don't want to be slamming that ball on the ground now. Get yourself a penalty for that, buddy.
And I've been watching Tuscola's secondary ever since they got beat down the middle on that play. They've been backed up 5 more yards, and they've all been facing the ball instead of turned with their backs to the ball. So as you said in the first half, that keeping your back to the ball can hurt you down the middle of the field, where Sullivan got their first score, and now they've gotten 2 picks off of staying close and reading the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands.
You know, right there, we just saw Tristan make a beautiful defensive play. The kid backpedaled, saw the play the whole way in front of him, saw the pass. Matter of fact, it looked like he saw it better than the receiver did, because he reacted to where the ball was thrown.
It looked like he was supposed to catch that pass from the get-go.
Very good pick.
And Tuscola takes over again. They are on the 30-yard line, headed in to try and make this a 2-score game. And a high snap again, handled by Nick Bates for about a 4-yard gain. Impressive to come down with that snap. Man, he's getting some work tonight, not only from the defense, but his center's challenging him tonight. And that was a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 here for Tuscola as they stay in the shotgun with 2 wide each direction here on the field. And there's a direct snap to the quarterback, and he goes for, it looks like he may have got another 5 or 6 out of that for a first down.
You know, he just takes that snap, and he likes to run off tackle over there. Number 51, Stephen Gibson, 6', 195-pound junior, seems to open up some room for him on that left side.
And we've got our first injury of the night here. An unfortunate announcement for the Sullivan. Looks like they have a lineman down.
Yeah, it looks like they might be working on his ankle, like he might have twisted his ankle.
And that's definitely something you look out for while you're playing in the line there. They sometimes down there by the ball when it's first snapped, you have your own rules in that little area, and it can get pretty physical.
I haven't got a number on the player yet. The Sullivan Redskins trainer is out taking a look at him, and assistant coach is out there talking with him. He's sipping on a bottle of water, still has his helmet on, so.
Definitely looks low leg though. Ankle, maybe calf. But Tuscola's defense comes out here in the second half. Says, hey, it's our turn to make a statement. We'll take a pick here and turn it around. And they have it. They'll be 1st and 10 from around the 21-yard line.
Yep, I think scoreboard's showing 19 on the 19, so 1st and 10 from the 19. And threatening to score here with 7:49 left in the third period, ahead 16-8 over the Sullivan Redskins. It's been a pretty tight game thus far. You you can't really see any one of the teams dominating at this particular point. Number 63 is the injured player, Evan Barker, a 5'6", 196-pound offensive line sophomore for the Redskins. He's hobbling over here. Looks to me like he's definitely got an ankle problem. So somebody on that depth chart's going to get a look.
Yep. And here we go as play resumes here. Nick Bates in the shotgun. 2 spread out, far side and near side. And it'll be a snap and a keeper and a shoestring.
Flag is down.
Tackle. I'm going to go with holding.
Holding, yep.
That's usually what happens when they throw a flag there in the middle of the field towards all the big guys. Is usually somebody got caught.
Yeah, that line judge on this near side's looking straight down the line of scrimmage, so he's able to see all that from the side and watch all that develop. So somebody had a hold of somebody pretty good on that left side. That left side is for Tuscola on the offensive line is number 51, Stephen Gibson, number 52, Clayton Turner. Over here on the right side, we have 55, Nick Henderson. Rotrammel is the center. Another high snap bobbled.
Oh,
Nick
there
Bates
goes the ball, and
tries to take it up the middle.
I
think Nick Henderson.
And they're still.
The right guard, I believe Nick Henderson got on that ball for Tuscola. Very, very
fortunate.
Heads-up play for him. That's what, you like to see your offensive linemen do that, Right there's an example of what you should do when the ball's loose on the ground. So picking it up and trying to go for it.
Oh, man, our coach.
Get on that ball.
Our lineman's coach, Brian Bradshaw, he said, if I ever see somebody bend over to try and pick up that ball from the line, it'll be nothing but sprints for you for the rest of the week.
That play started with a high snap.
Mm-hmm. And going pass, and he's under pressure, gets out. There'll be another holding call.
Oh, he's over the middle. That's Tyler Hale. Deep in the back of the end zone, in the center of the end zone. Ball was overthrown. Nick Bates was under heavy pressure, and another flag was thrown, and there was a bunch of black jerseys back there in the area of that flag with just one, maybe 2 Sullivan defenders coming in there, so it looks like another holding penalty.
Well, Sullivan had a good beat on the quarterback, and then all of a sudden, one of them got taken down a little bit, and I think there was a little grab on the jersey. But I've been watching the quarterbacks after you said that they kind of moved forward before the ball snapped, and I think both of them are actually almost going a yard forward before the ball is even tossed.
Yeah, there's no doubt. They're definitely moving towards the ball before they get it. I don't know, but when I played, that was a legal procedure, but
yeah,
they're getting away with it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they could move after the ball snapped.
And here's our first under center for Tuscola. It's a second and long, and it's going to be a third and longer, excuse me, here. And the defenses here in the second half have really come out shining, holding the opposing offenses to little yardage.
I'm thinking that's got to be what the referees are determining, is that the ball is snapped before they're actually moving.
Mm-hmm.
It looks to me like they're actually moving before the ball is snapped.
Exactly.
See, like right there, he was backing up before the ball was snapped.
And they're going deep. It's a high toss.
He was hit. Oh!
Oh, he almost came back to it. Good defense there.
Good defense. You know, the guy did the right thing with the defense with his back to the ball.
Yeah.
The only thing he could do was stick his hands up and try to cause interference, and that's exactly what he did.
And he kind of stopped moving as soon as he saw that the receiver was coming back. He stopped moving and stood still with his hands straight up in the air.
Nick Bates was hit a little bit on that pass. That was a real high arcing pass. Had a real nice spiral to it, but was incomplete nonetheless. So
that was number 11, Ty Molson, on the defense for Sullivan. And the punt is off.
Jake Eaton again.
And it's going to
let this one
let
go.
it go. And looks like they're down on the 9, and there's a flag down.
You know, I don't know what Knight was doing on that punt coverage. You know, the ball was bouncing backwards, and he should have
just grabbed it.
Yeah, down that ball.
I was wondering what all the Sullivan guys were doing around the ball. You got to get away from that thing.
Yeah, that too. Of course,
we're waiting on this flag call here to see what it is. We were kind of focused on where the punt ended instead of back here towards the line.
That might have been what Josh Knight was thinking. I'm not going to touch it. He's going to touch it.
Yeah, let him touch it, and then I'll get it, yeah. Ooh, 2 penalties on Tuscola.
2 penalties.
How do you get it? How do you get an ineligible receiver downfield on a punt?
I don't know.
Illegal procedure, I can see.
Ineligible participant. Okay, that's not ineligible. I mean, ineligible participant. What's that? Somebody that ran out of bounds that came back in bounds, or somebody that came on the field too late? I don't know.
I don't either. That's a new one on me. We'll have to look that one up. That's odd, because I thought everybody was, eligible to go down and tackle the guy with the ball
on a punt.
I thought the only time you had that out of bounds was when he came in and then caught the ball after being.
If he was on the line, which Knight right here is on, he is lined up as an end on this punt. If he's on the line,
is the rule? Do you have to wait until the ball's kicked, or?
I think if you're on the if you're considered on the line, a lineman, you have to wait till the ball is kicked. But if you're no, he's taking off. He's definitely taking off. Martin boots that ball down here and fielded off the ground again by number 27. Jake Eaton gets it back to about the 31-yard line.
Excellent tackle by Clayton Turner there.
Stepped it back up a yard to 32.
And it looks like Jacob Eaton is hobbling around there on the sidelines.
There was a flag thrown again, this time against Tuscola. Sideline warning.
And we have the 3rd penalty on Tuscola.
The officials take a timeout on the field.
That was a sideline warning to the Tuscola bench.
Mm-hmm.
They must have wheeled that cool-looking water thing out on the field too soon.
Penalty on the water cooler. And I guess the officials are taking a timeout here to discuss the penalties and mishaps. But our score is still 16-8 in favor of Tuscola with 6 minutes and 6 seconds left. It looks like right at the moment it is 1st and 10 on the 32 for Sullivan. We haven't just found out the effects of this penalty yet coming up. And it looks like the defenses have decided to take over this game again. It's going back and forth each series. The defense is stepping up, stopping the other offense here from doing much of anything.
Luke, I think they threw a flag, but they just issued a sideline warning this time.
Okay.
I think the ball's going to stay where it's at. So it'll be ball on the 32, 1st and 10 for the Sullivan Redskins, and the Warriors have been assessed a sideline warning. So the next time you'll be be walking off some penalty yardage against them if they do it again. So,
And
Tripp's right.
play resumes. Frerichs shotgun again. And there's that little lean forward we talk about. And Eaton has some space. He's still up and going. It's good yardage. He's still up. 2 missed tackles, 3 missed tackles. And they finally get him around the 30-yard line of the Warriors.
It all started with a missed tackle back here by Zach Bates. He got in. He had him. And, you know, he just was arm tackling him, really didn't wrap him up and bring him down well, and he slipped that one. And
just compounded from there.
Yeah.
Missed tackle after missed tackle. There's probably 3 or 4 missed tackles out in the open field there. And nobody able to get a hold of him and wrap him up. So an excellent gain there for Sullivan. It is now 1st and 10 on the other 32. So they went from their 32 to Tuscola's 32
Yeah.
on a nice run.
Then he got all the way down there to 32, and Tyler Hale just about had a missed tackle himself, but as he was slipping down off of him, he ended up catching his ankles and tripped him up and got him on the ground.
And
looked like they just marked off a penalty against Tuscola.
And
Down
the
to 16.
Warriors are shooting themselves in the foot right now.
I don't know if that was a personal foul or.
And they've got Jake Eaton here on the sidelines. It looks like he may have strained a leg. He has a cramp. He's just carried over here by one of his teammates. Hopefully he's all right and can get back in the game. Frerichs back in the shotgun. 3 out to the left, 1 out to the right. Hands it off in the middle and to the new running back.
Number 34, Kanan Bouchard.
And he takes a nice run there for his first.
Yes, he did. He's a 5'8" senior, 165 pounds. And I'll tell you what, by the looks of that run, I think I'd get him the ball a few more times.
He's low to the ground. That guy's
Yeah.
going to be tough to tackle.
Yeah, he got the ball all the way down to the 1st and 10 on the 5.
So, first and goal on the 5-yard line for Sullivan here, threatening to score. And shotgun. And Frerichs still has it in the backfield. And there's a big pile up, and I don't think he got in.
He faked the handoff to Bouchard, and Austin Martin wasn't having any of it. And immediately wrapped him up. And it looks like a host of Warrior players then came in and helped bring him down to the ground, and I believe he is still on the ground.
We jinxed our no injuries by talking about it. That's 2 injuries now for Sullivan that resulted in a player down.
So he's going to have to go out for a play anyway. He's hobbling
He's up
pretty
and
good.
going. And to me, that says it's just he's got a cramp in his leg somewhere. If he's up walking around on it, trying to loosen it up.
Kind of wobbling around a little bit.
But that was tough.
He's saying he's okay.
He just got tackled by the whole defense. And
so let's see here. If Nick Frerichs is out, he's a 6', 190-pound junior at quarterback. The next quarterback we have listed here would either be Ty Molson, number 11, or Peyton Hagerman, number 15. We'll have to see which one is probably going to take this one snap. Looks like it might be Molson, number 11.
Mm-hmm.
Is the backup quarterback. He's got Jake Eaton there in the backfield, and if you're Tuscola, you're covering Jake Eaton on this play. First snap, and that's, well, he faked it to Eaton,
keeps
and
it.
he tried keeping it, and
he's stopped
Zach
short.
Bates came in and hit him, and it looked like Ashton Hastings cleaned him up after Bates tripped him up. Big number 75 for Tuscola. And is this guy a horse? Ashton Hastings, 6'2", 310-pound senior.
Goodness.
I think number 11's probably thinking his lucky stars. So that guy just didn't give him a big old pancake squash, man.
And Frericks is back in shotgun, takes the snap, handoff up the middle to Eaton, and he's not going to get it.
Benich had him down low. Bates came in high. Who else we got in that pile? Austin Martin was in there. Ashton Hastings again was in there. I think Benich had him around the feet.
And now you're going to have 4th and 1. Ball is on the 1-yard line, as marked by the scoreboard.
4th and 1.
With 3.5 minutes still to go here in the third quarter. A close game, 16-8 in favor of Tuscola. But Sullivan here threatening to score, trying to battle back and tie this game up.
Look who they got in that backfield, number 34. He looks like a candidate for this play.
And an odd formation.
Yeah, that looked kind of like a wishbone formation back there. They had 34. Kanan Bashert was back there. You had 22. Jaden Tabor was in the backfield. And then you had the main horse, Jake Eaton. So you had 22. You had Eaton and Tabor on the sides with 34. Kanan Bashert lined up behind the quarterback, and they were all really tight to the line of scrimmage. It almost looked to me like it was going to be a quarterback keeper, and those 3 guys were going to push him across the line.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're bunched in like that, that's kind of what they'll do a lot of times. Quarterback will just pick the hole that he thinks he can get through, and those 3 guys put their noses on his butt and just kind of like tackle him from behind across the goal line. And the same group is in there right now, those 3 backs, and watch, they'll get right in tight behind the quarterback. Is that or is that Nick? Frericks in there?
Yeah, Frericks in there.
So you got Frericks in there.
22, 34.
Tuscola would do themselves good just bunching it up and trying to put, it's going to be a tug of war type thing going on right here. Watch this.
Powerhouse football. And Frericks keeps
that's what
it.
He did.
And
that's what they did.
And there's no signal yet.
He's in.
And they call it in. Touchdown.
Far side official just signaled touchdown. And that's what they did, Luke. They just bunched up those backs in behind him. And they actually ran a fake with one side of the backs. 27. Jake Eaton, their main working horse, shot in like he was going to take the handoff, and the other 2 just kind of stayed put until the quarterback started his push, and then they followed in right behind him.
A good play.
And pushed him right across the goal line. So let's see, 3:03 in the third period, 16-14. We'll see what they do. I wouldn't doubt it if they don't do the same thing.
Yeah, they'll go for that.
And they do. They got they got 22's at a slot position, 27 and 34 in the backfield. It's a handoff.
Oh, he keeps it.
No, he's keeping. He's trying to pass.
Nobody open, and
Tuscola did very good.
Excellent defense.
Yes.
Good containment. Good coverage in the secondary.
Right there's a disciplined defense that they all did what they were supposed to do and covered their zones and played their position well. And snuffed them, took them out of it. So it's 16-14 with 3:03 in the third.
Not to take anything from Sullivan's offense, but Tuscola really killed themselves with all those penalties on that last series. Sullivan did an excellent job down by the goal line, getting it down. There's a couple of nice runs by the backups, and finally pushing it in there with a QB sneak from Frericks.
Missed tackles were a factor too, you know.
And we'll catch our breath here and regroup for both teams. And it's a tight game. Both teams are fighting. Like we said, there's statement games. Sullivan wants to come out, get a win. Tuscola's kind of, they've been on the bigger end of the state playoffs and titles and being in the championship games for the last, 4 or 5 years. And it's a big win here. Sullivan can come here to Tuscola and take them out. There's a lot of confidence going into their next game, which is against Meridian.
Yep. The Sullivan faithful down here to our right are trying to get their team pumped up. You know, they got the ball in the end zone. They didn't convert the 2-point, but, you know, there's still 3:03 left in the third and a whole fourth quarter to go. I tell you what, this game is still up for grabs. Still up for grabs.
Yeah, the field goal wins it now. So if you keep the score this tight, 2 points, and you get a field goal try and you make it, you could take the win here. A high kick again.
To Martin.
Fielded, still up and going, and I think they finally got him.
Austin Martin on the kickoff return for the Warriors.
Number 1, Devin Mosier for Sullivan Redskins kicks off. And, you know, he's just not that big of a kid, and he's just getting that ball to about the middle line there, and Austin Martin is right there where the ball comes down about every time.
Just a moment ago,
and it looks like he's getting under the ball quite a bit because he's lifting it up there pretty high, so it's not getting quite the distance that you would want to see on it.
Right.
And Tuscola is going to take over here, 1st and 10 from about the 46-yard line.
Yep, they show 47 on the scoreboard.
Line. So Tuscola really needs to prove something here on offense and gain some yardage, get a score on the board. They've been stagnant here the last few times. And there's a draw up the middle. Cole Evans, I think, was the ball carrier. He gained about 2. So it'll be 2nd and 8. And
carried the ball behind Clayton Turner, Nick Henderson, and Austin Benich. Sullivan Redskins, that was definitely movement.
And
they aren't calling that.
Bounces to the outside. Yeah, he was moving forward quite a bit on that one.
The running back was even moving on that one.
And Tuscola's made it 3rd and about 5 here.
That back judge is right there, though, and he's letting it go, so, hey.
Well, I'm wondering if that back judge can actually see how far forward he's going.
Right.
Because he's behind them.
You still got to see him moving.
Yeah. We see now he's coming up a little bit to the side to see if he's...
Whoa!
Oh, miscommunication, ball on the ground. Sullivan, I think, was on that in a heartbeat.
Turnover.
And Tuscola is just running into all sorts of problems here. And Sullivan is on a run.
You know, I think what that was going to be one of those, just a quick give to Cole Evans, and the snap was high, and Cole Evans was moving to take the handoff, and so he just went for the handoff too. And both him and Nick Bates hit the ball at the same time, and it dropped on the ground, and Sullivan recovers for another turnover from the Tuscola Warriors, and now Sullivan's right here at midfield with $1:50 left in the third quarter, down 2. And, you know, we talked about momentum earlier in the game. It's definitely on Sullivan's side right now.
Oh, by far. I mean, this kind of playing gets their juices flowing again. They get some of the excitement again. They have a chance here to take the lead. And Tuscola doing some shifting on the defensive line. And it looked like there's a handoff up the middle to Jake Eaton. And I don't think he got anything out of that.
Benich and Hastings were right there. Hastings had him low and Benich hit him high. Or excuse me, Benich had him low and Hastings went in high. Hastings is a big boy.
Yeah,
this guy, I'll say it again for you folks, Ashton Hastings, number 75 for the Warriors. He plays defensive tackle. Plays defensive tackle, and this young man is 6'2", 310 pounds. And he looks it.
Good protection initially for Ferks, and he sees nobody open and gains a few yards.
Brought down by number 51, Stephen Gibson. And we know when I say he looks it, you know, you watch him, he's running off the sideline now, he's taking a breather, but you know, he's a good-sized kid, and he looks healthy. You know, he's solid.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. He takes up a good portion right there in that line, and I think that's why Sullivan hasn't been able to bounce it up the middle. With big guys like him standing in there with his arms out, he's definitely a force. And we got 3rd and 7 here for Sullivan in the shotgun. Man in motion. And handoff, trying to get the sweep to the outside. And he gains a few yards there. 2, maybe 3. So it'll be a 4th down and about 5.
Ashton Hastings, 75, went out to take a breather. 6'2", 310 pounds. And who came in for him to replace him on the defensive line was number 12, Griffin Day, 5'10", 165.
Night and day difference on that one.
Gave up 200 pounds on that play right there. But it went the other way. So.
And at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's Tuscola 16 and Sullivan 14 trying to gain momentum and bring this back to their advantage with the lead.